gotta find the G-O-O-D and goodbye. You put the over in love, but put the X in next. Ain't no I in trouble, just the you since we met.
Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to make a GFX without using the rig. So let's get on with the video. So obviously the first thing I'm going to do is open up Roblox Studio. So once you're in Roblox Studio, just do everything you usually would do in my GFX video last time, because I'm going to basically explain everything in Blender when you're doing the stuff. On Roblox Studio, I recommend you watch my GFX video first, and then you can know what to do in Roblox Studio, because I won't be explaining that because I've already explained it in like previous videos. Anyway, so after you've done that, once you're in Roblox Studio, you want to go ahead and click plugins and then click load character. So once you have load character on, you want to go ahead and delete the username there and type in your username or whatever user you're going to be using. So the difference between making a GFX with the rig and without the rig is that with the rig, you want to click spawn R15. So with the rig, you want to go ahead and click spawn R15, okay? After you've done that, here's your body or person. You want to go ahead and make changes to it however you want, if you want to make changes or not. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Once you've got your character changed, you want to go ahead and go into this like shopping thing. You should already be here, and search for creators or whatever model you want to be using. Once you've got your model, you want to go ahead and export all of these into your files. Once you've exported everything, you want to go ahead and get out of Roblox Studio. Okay, so after you pop out of Roblox Studio, you want to go ahead and click Blender. So once you're in Blender, click anywhere on the screen. Where it says Blender Render, click on it and then change it to Cycles Render. After you change it to Cycles Render, where it has the cube thing, click X and click Delete. Guys, so one very important thing is to make sure you click Cycles Render, because if you don't click Cycles Render, it's not going to turn out like a regular GFX and it's going to look really weird. And if you do it at the end, your texture is going to disappear. After doing that, click File, click Import, click Wavefront OBJ, go and get your character, or wherever, like click on your character. Once you click import.obj, you want to go ahead and where it has this like texture ball thingy, click on it and then change it to material or texture, it doesn't matter. As you guys can see, all my stuff is here. Once you've done that, you want to go ahead and just style your character to however you want it to be. So the difference between using a rig and without a rig is that it's a little bit more harder to move or more difficult to, because it's like different body parts and they don't connect together that much. So yeah, basically the difference between R6 and R15 is R6 is an entire arm and then bodies are all connected to each other, while with R15 there's different body parts. As you guys can see, that's like different. So that makes it different. But to move it, you want to go ahead and click Shift F, basic Blender controls, right click on the arm or whatever you're going to be using, and then hold shift while clicking on the entire arm to move the entire arm. Click on this little button down here and then click Set Origin to Geometry, and now you can move the entire arm. As you guys can see, it does not connect to the body whatsoever. So it's like different because it's body parts, which makes it a little bit more difficult to style, but you can still work with it. So as you guys can see, I just moved the arm. Now you want to go ahead and just style the arm to however you want it to be. Okay, so I went ahead and just styled the arm up here, and I want to move the other arm. So what you want to do is right click on the arm and the hand, the bottom arm and the hand if you want to move both of them. And you can just, again, right click on it and then click on this thing to rotate it or whatever. And then if you want to move it directly, just click on this and you can move it. So again, it's the same thing for everything. If you want to just move the hand, you can just do the same thing. So basically that's how you move everything. So I'm going to style everything and I'll be right back. And I'll speed this up. Okay, so I've finished styling my character. If you want to style it differently, then you can do it differently. But yeah, so one thing when I did before was my rotating thing wasn't working when I was using my old laptop, because like it wouldn't do these turns or whatever, and like it got very annoying. But basically it doesn't, I don't know why it does that, but I don't know if some other computers do that or whatever with Blender. Just go ahead where it says global and then change it to local, change it to view or gimbal. You can actually move it different directions. But yeah, anyways, after you've finished doing that, you want to go ahead and click File, click Import, click Wavefront OBJ, and then click on your model. So before I start anything, I do recommend you guys watch my GFX video, because that you would know the basic controls of moving on Blender, because I won't be explaining that because I have explained it in my other previous video. So yeah, anyways, after you finished having everything, as you guys can see, go ahead and select every part of your body while holding shift, so it selects everything. As you guys can see, everything is now all together. So for me, I'm going to keep it like this, but if you want to add something while holding the hand, then skip this part. Click join, because when you join it, everything is together. Everything is together. You can't move it back anymore, so you can't move any part of the body parts. For me, I do this because it's easier for me to move the entire body. But if you want to if you don't like the way it looks and you want to change it afterwards, I suggest you don't do that. So yeah, once you've done that, you want to go ahead and just place it how you want it to be. So I'm going to go ahead and just keep it right here. As you guys can see, it is now I've finished with that. So the difference between rig and without using a rig is that rig is a little bit more smoother to use than without using a rig, but you can do both. As you guys can see, it's a little bit more difficult to use. Well, not difficult, it's just a little bit more extra steps to it, but yeah. Anyways, after you finish putting the character however you want it to be, you want to go ahead and click add, click lamp, click Hemi, and now you've got yourself a light. So you want to go ahead and just style the light however you want it to be. Once you've had the light, click on the lighting right here where it says color, change it to however color you want it to be. So I'm just going to change it to that, and for the strength, you can just change it to whatever strength you want it to be. I usually change it to just 7.5. After you've done that, you want to click add, click camera, and then click view, click camera, and then move it to where your character is and just like select it there. So after you've done that, you want to click on the camera thing. Where the resolution is, it just basically changes to however you want it to be. So if you're doing it for a thumbnail, just keep it like this. But if you don't want to, if you want to do it as an Instagram post, just change it to 1000 times 1000. 1000 by 1000. You guys can see it basically looks like a regular Instagram post. And then after you've done that, go ahead and click on the two picture thing, click denoising. It basically just reduces the noise. Click on the world icon. I'm gonna click use nodes and then change it to environment texture. Don't do this step if you're not gonna use an HDRI, but as you know, I use HDRIs for everything. So I'll probably make in how to add an HDRI to your effects, but don't do this if you're not adding an HDRI. So quick explaining, an HDRI is basically a background to the back. Like if you have an exposed window at the back, you want to add like a background to it. So then you would just want to click download an HDRI from a website or whatever, and then keep it in the back, and then you have that HDRI look. So if you don't want to do that and you think that's too much, you can just click transparent, and then the back of the window will be transparent, and you can just layer your GFX over top another background, and you basically have another HDRI kind of look if you want to do that. Or if you're not exposing any character at all, just move it to a place where it doesn't have any windows. After you've done that, you want to go ahead, and if you're not using an HDRI though, you can go ahead and click with the exposures. So after you've done that, back to where the HDRI is, if you want to click ambient occlusion, basically distributes all the light effect, but it's just the basic white lighting. You don't have like a peach or pink lighting, so it just distributes it everywhere. But I usually use the lamp. I sometimes use ambient occlusion, but you can do you. Anyways, after you've gone ahead and just changed up everything, I'm gonna go ahead to where it has this ball right here, change it to rendered, and basically it will show you how it looks like when it's rendered. So I chose the wrong HDRI, so I'm gonna change that. Okay, now you want to go ahead and click rendered, and then you can just see how you want the background to look like. So when you click rendered, over here, don't click render over here, click rendered over here, will basically show you how it looks like when it's rendered. So if you like how it looks, you want to go ahead and click render, and then click render image. So I'm gonna make a GFX with the rig right now for this thumbnail. So I won't be clicking render, but after you click render, you just want to follow the same procedures as the GFX tutorial. You want to go ahead and save that image, just watch my other video, and you'll know how to do that. So yeah. So guys, that is it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any questions, just leave them down below. I will surely answer them. So yeah. Anyways, I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Bye.